I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 51 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on recognizing God's hand in my life. So, yay for day 51! I just feel like I survived another day, honestly. I'm just kind of stressing out right now with my life, and I am so grateful that I chose to write in my journal before I made my video tonight, because writing in my journal helped me to recognize God's hand in my life throughout this whole day. I was just stressing out. I kind of woke up with a headache, and then I knew it was a stress headache. I knew that's all it was just stress all the way up in my head, and then running late for work even though I didn't know why, and just everything always takes longer than I think that it should, and just some embarrassing things happened at work, and then some other things like I didn't want to have to deal with. I mean, I had to go grocery shopping and I had to like spend my change, and I like to collect change and not have to spend it, and then I had to spend it because I have no other money and I needed food, and then I hate the whole idea of going to up to the cash register and I'm like, here, let me give you like a whole bunch of money in quarters, like a whole bunch. So I was kind of like, okay. And I had a bag of quarters and I wrote the amount of how much was in it, and I didn't spend all of the amount that was in there, so I'm going to have to recount it and change the dollar amount on it. But I had to count it out in front of the cashier. But I feel like God was just really helping me out today, like seriously really helping me out, because the embarrassing situation at work, I didn't actually get in trouble for that, and I was subtly offered some assistance so as to not have that problem again in the future. It's not something that I could use, the assistance they offered. I'm like, I wish it was. I would be like, yes, that would solve all my problems if that was the case, but not the case. We'll have to find some other way to solve that embarrassing problem. I have to wear a certain uniform to work, and I don't get the ones that have the work logo on it, so I have to buy the regular ones. And I bought some, but I wore the wrong combination. The pants were a little too big and the top was a little too tight, and so when I sat down, my back was showing, and my boss didn't like that. So she was like, you need to wear something different. And I was like, okay, I just won't wear this combination of clothes right now, but I can't exactly go home and change. I guess I could have taken my lunch break and gone home and changed, but that would have been ridiculous. So then they offered me some of the old uniforms that they had laying around at the office, and they're not the right size. They're like 2 or 3 sizes smaller than what I am. And I was like, yes, I'm an optical illusion. People look at me and think that I'm not as big as I am, which is fantastic. But I know, because of the size of my clothes and what my scale says, that's how big I actually am. So I was like, yeah, these don't actually fit me, but that would have been nice. So I have to figure out my wardrobe differently the rest of the week. Plus I had my shoes that light up, which I love my shoes that light up, but they don't want me to wear shoes that light up at work. So one of the other God things in my life is I had to come home and I'm like, oh, I have my tennis shoes. I have old tennis shoes that were starting to get holes in them, and the soles are starting to wear out, and rocks and stuff, and so I should have thrown them away. I'm terrible because I hold on to my clothes that are full of holes and everything else, because I just hate shopping. I hate shopping for clothes. I hate shopping for shoes. I hate shopping, period. I'm not even a fan of shopping for food, but I shop for food because I need to eat. So not a fan of shopping. Anything I can get and just go in and get really quickly and come back out where I don't have to do anything. This is why I don't shop around to different places and get really cheap deals on food, because I hate shopping. But I am so grateful that I did not throw away my shoes. So I came home and I was freaking out about shoes. And I kind of walked around my house and I was like, okay, where could I have possibly have put them? And sure enough, I had a bag. I think I put together a bag to either throw away or a bag to like give away, and I never did. And there were my shoes, my old shoes. So I can wear my old shoes until I can get a paycheck and go buy some new shoes. So I won't have shoes that light up at work anymore. Problems solved at work. And of course, I have other clothes that meet the uniform requirement for work. I just wore the wrong combination today. I was experimenting, and it was a very bad experiment, so I will not make that mistake again. When I wrote in my journal, I realized that God was reminding me I didn't need to focus on the mistake that I made or the embarrassing comments or whatever, but to know that I was, they addressed it very privately and let me know that I was not in trouble. So I'm like, I'm not in trouble. I'm not getting written up. I'm not getting fired. These are all positive things that God was reminding me that I was being told and shared. So I just need to let it go and stop focusing on the embarrassing moment. And of course, I don't know why I think it's embarrassing or bad to pay with a bunch of change at the cash register. I used to be a cashier at a grocery store. That was like my first job when I was 18. And so long time ago. But people would come in and pay with change, and everybody else would get so irritated because you had to wait and count out with all of the money, but then they could get what they wanted with, the money that they had. So they would come in with the exact amounts with all their change. I know this was a God thing. It had to be, because I went to the grocery store and I got what I knew that I could afford. And then I stood in line, and then someone else came to get in line behind me, and the cashier said, "Oh no, this lane is closed." And she handed me the sign to put at the end, "Lane is closed," which meant nobody was coming in line after me. So when I had to count out all of my change, it wasn't going to irritate anybody else except maybe the cashier. She watched me, and I said, "I'm so sorry. I have to deal with this." And she's like, "Oh no, this is fine, because it means I don't have to get change for this drawer." So it actually kind of helped her out in a way that I paid with all quarters and all change, because she got all that change in her drawer. And I didn't have anyone in line getting irritated at me. I was so grateful for that. And I kind of forgot about it when I got home, and I'm like, oh, what am I going to make my video about? And then I wrote in my journal, and God reminded me that He was there, that He helped me get through everything, that I didn't have to be embarrassed and focused on a simple mistake with my wardrobe. I didn't have to let that ruin my whole day. And I didn't have to be stressed out and having a major headache over it. Had a headache all day. It got worse when that whole embarrassing thing happened. And I'm like, stupid stress headaches. And it was just kind of, the reminder that it was okay, pay with change. God was there. And it was a blessing for the cashier, and it was a blessing for me. And then there was nobody else in line. So nobody was bothered by what I was doing except for me. So it was all just me and my perspective that was all messed up. And then I was journaling because I called and talked to my daughter today, and she's stressing about going back to school. And I got to feel a lot like a mom, to answer her questions, help calm her fears, tell her that she can do this, that she's going to have a great day tomorrow, and that she can do this. And by the time we got off the phone, she was like, I can do this. And it made me feel really good to be able to be there for my daughter and to help her to feel better, to remind her that when she's nervous or scared, she could just say a little prayer. She can think a scripture in her head. She can sing a song, focus on something that she likes instead of something that's making her nervous. And if nothing else, find something to, get rid of your nervous energy. I told her if she's sitting in class and waiting for it to start and she's nervous or anxious, I told her to get out a pen or a pencil, take a drawing pad and just draw, because she likes to draw. She's quite the artist, and she loves animals too. So just draw stuff. So she could just sit there and draw in her class. Or I told her to find something, a little fidget thing or a piece of paper or something she could put in her pocket. And I told her when I went to my interview last week and I was kind of nervous, and I found a sticker, on my phone case, and I'm like, what the heck? I mean, it was the original one where the scanner thing or whatever, where they scan it in the barcode. There you go. It's the barcode sticker that was still on my phone case. And why it was still on my phone case, I have no idea. But I took it off and I folded it up, and I was just kind of playing with it in my hand the entire time I was in my interview. And I don't think the person interviewing me even noticed that I was playing with this in my hand, but it helped to keep me calm because the nervous energy was focused in my hand instead of in everything else. And I was just folding and unfolding. And I folded it up really, really tiny. So the size of a thumbnail or fingernail, whatever. So it was tiny, playing with it in my hand quietly. Nobody can, subtly, that sort of a thing. And I told her she could do that. I'm like, just do something like that in your lap or in your pocket so nobody can see it. So it's not embarrassing, but it's just something simple to help get rid of your nerves. And I don't know if any of that helped her, but I do know by the end of the conversation, she was like, I can do this. And she was like, okay, I can do this, and ready for school. I also told her to wear her favorite colors and her favorite clothes, favorite outfit, just anything to help put herself in a positive mood before she goes to school, to focus on something other than being nervous. And then she's like, mind over matter. And I'm like, there you go. That works most of the time. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I don't think mind over matter always works. At least not in my case. Maybe it does. It takes a lot of practice, I think, for mind over matter to work, and a lot of consistency. And I'm slowly working on those things. And I am grateful for all the times that I can see that the positive comes out in my life over the negative, and where I can see God working in my life and helping me to change my attitude and my perspective. But I also know it's a very subtle and slow process. It's not an overnight process. And so it's kind of hard to notice the change and the progress And so I'm always grateful when other people tell me, hey, you're doing so great. Hey, this is so nice. Today I wasn't feeling like that. I had friends that I was texting and complaining about all the problems I'm having right now, all the things outside of my control that I can't change. And I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to get through the next 2.5 weeks. And I wrote that in my journal. I was like, I gotta figure out how to get through tomorrow first. So I'm like, what the heck am I worried about the next 2.5 weeks for? I gotta get through the rest of today. I gotta get through tomorrow. I'm jumping way too far ahead in my life, and anything can happen between now and the next 2.5 weeks. And maybe I'll be in the exact same spot that I am now. And maybe I won't. Maybe things will get better between now and then. And the only thing I'm stressing about is my finances. And, that's going to get better when I get a paycheck, which is probably going to happen in 2.5 weeks. So I just have to figure out how I'm going to financially get from here to there, basically. So again, that's a tomorrow problem, not a today problem. And it's one that I can try to find solutions to on a daily basis and just one day at a time. So I am so grateful to God for reminding me that once again, I'm jumping way far ahead and I'm stressing and about things that I can't do anything about today. So giving myself a headache over nothing. And maybe it's not nothing. They're valid concerns that I have. They're just, I've done what I could do today and I can't do anything else about it. So there's no point in stressing. And that is my struggle. It's an ongoing struggle that I have because I'm like, I know there's no point in stressing and I know it's just giving me a headache, but I don't really know where the off switch in my brain is to stop stressing. If any of you know where the off switch is, could you let me know? Because that would be fantastic. I would love to learn how to turn that off. Especially, during the day when I'm working and I'm like, my head is killing me and I was like, I just need an off switch. So I'll stop stressing about everything and then I can work just fine. I don't know what the answer or the solution to that is at this point in time, but I am grateful to know that I don't have to stress about all of that stuff, and maybe someday I'll get to the point where I won't. That would be super nice. But I know journaling tonight really helped me to put things into perspective and to help me let go of a lot of that and made my head feel a whole lot better too. I was like, man, I should have done that a lot earlier today. I am just grateful for God reminding me and showing me that He's in my life every day, even if I don't notice it in the moment. And I'm so grateful that I choose to journal at night because it helps me to see and reminds me of all the ways that God is there for me in my life throughout the day so that I can share that with you in my videos. And I know that God is there for you throughout your day, even the bad, crazy, whatever days that you think there's no way I'm getting through this or life can't be any worse. And God is there. Even if He doesn't fix everything, at least He's there and He is aware of what's going on in your life. And you're not going through it alone, even if it feels like it sometimes. I'm grateful for that, and I hope that you know that. And if you like these videos, I hope you'll hit like, subscribe, or share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude and find ways to recognize God's hand in your life too.